In Johannesburg's heart, where skyscrapers glimmer over rusted rooftops and golden dust drifts from the mines, lived a young man named Sipho Dlamini, 24 years old, full of quiet pride and promise. Sipho was the first in his family to finish university, a scholarship kid from Soweto who dreamed of becoming an architect, a builder of futures, not just buildings. He believed in the new South Africa, the Rainbow Nation, where the ghosts of apartheid were supposed to be buried. But ghosts don't stay buried. They linger, waiting for someone like Sipho to remind the world they still exist. Every morning, Sipho took the early train, shoulder to shoulder with domestic workers, students, and laborers, toward the city's white business district. He worked as an intern at Vanderbilt and Company, a prestigious architectural firm that smelled of coffee, steel, and quiet superiority. He was the only black intern in his department, but he tried to see that as progress. Still, the looks, the whispers, the small jokes with big meanings, they stacked up like bricks in a wall between him and the rest of them. There was Ethan Vanderbilt, the CEO's son, charming, confident, and dangerously entitled. He smiled like a friend, but spoke like a rival. When Sipho presented a brilliant design for a community housing project, Ethan smiled and said, "Nice work, Sipho. Didn't know you people had such an eye for detail." Everyone laughed, except Sipho. He forced a grin and looked away, not wanting to make trouble. He needed that internship. At home, in a small two-room flat shared with his mother and younger sister, Sipho held on to hope. His mother, Thandi, worked as a cleaner at a government office. She always said, "Son, you're the light that will show them we belong." He wanted to believe her, but light can attract darkness. One Friday evening, the firm hosted a cocktail event for investors. Sipho arrived in his only suit, pressed, simple, second-hand, but spotless. The office shimmered with glass and laughter. He tried to blend in, holding his glass of water while others toasted champagne. That's when it happened. A commotion, a cry, a rush toward the corner office. The safe in the CEO's office had been broken into. Confidential blueprints and a flash drive containing a multi-million rand government contract were gone. The security cameras were mysteriously disabled. Within hours, the police arrived, and Sipho's name was whispered by more than one colleague. Ethan claimed he saw Sipho near the office earlier, acting suspicious. Sipho froze. He tried to explain. He'd only gone in to drop a report, but no one listened. They searched his bag and found a flash drive. His flash drive, or so he thought, until they plugged it in and the missing files appeared. His world shattered in seconds. "Mr. Dlamini, you're under arrest for theft and corporate espionage," the officer said coldly. Cameras flashed, eyes turned away. His dream internship turned into a public humiliation. His mother screamed when they took him away. The neighbors whispered as police cars rolled by. On the news, his face appeared beside the words, "Black intern caught in million-rand scandal." The same people who once called him a bright example now called him a thief. In the holding cell that night, Sipho sat on the cold floor, his wrists cuffed, his heart breaking. He thought of all the times he'd smiled through insults, all the times he'd tried to prove he belonged. Now they'd taken everything, his name, his future, his dignity. Days turned to weeks. He was denied bail, a flight risk, they said. Ethan testified against him, smooth and convincing. The evidence was airtight. Even Sipho's public defender looked defeated. Then one afternoon, during a break in court proceedings, Sipho saw someone watching him from the back row, a young white woman with sharp eyes and a quiet fire in her gaze. She wore a university badge on her coat, Dr. Laila Foster, medical resident at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. She didn't look like the others. She didn't look away. Later that evening, when Sipho was escorted out, she approached his lawyer quietly and handed him a small envelope. Inside was a note that read, "I have proof he's innocent, but if they find out I'm helping him..." my career will be over.